Hello, today I'm going to show you how you can 1cc Crimzon Clover's Arranged Boost mode with the Type 1 ship. We're starting off in stage 1, where we're going to try to maximize the medals that we earn so that we can upgrade our ship as fast as possible. You'll see I am doing full lock-ons on these big ships so I can get the big medals, and the first upgrade I'm going to get is the lock-on +6. I'm going to keep getting those lock-on upgrades until I max it out. That way I can get even greater lock-ons on the bigger ships so I can get more medals and get more upgrades faster. The key point of arranged mode is, of course, the upgrade bar at the bottom, where as you destroy enemies and collect medals, the meter fills up and then you can choose which upgrade you want. Ideally, by the end of the stage 1, we'll have all of our upgrades available to us, including our shield, so that we'd be in a good position for the rest of the game. I do play somewhat aggressively here just because I do want to pick up those medals. Another advantage of getting medals is that you can earn your extends that way. So at the top of the screen you'll see two types of medals. The large medals that you get from destroying the larger enemies, and the smaller medals that you earn just by shooting ships. And you can earn many extends this way. As you can see here, I'm on this rush. I am maximizing the medals I'm getting by staying near the top of the screen and using lock-ons, and I go into break mode as well. Here you just strafe back and forth. The enemy ships or the tanks will just keep appearing in the hole, so just keep strafing back and forth. I do get hit here. Fortunately I have a shield, so I don't have to worry about it. I'll just work on getting it back, and we'll just take care of these popcorn enemies here before the first boss. At the beginning of this first boss, I upgrade my speed, and you'll see that I'm just going to hold on to the brake button and let the speed upgrade come automatically while I dodge the boss's bullets. And here I should have, okay, I have max speed now, and now I'm just tap dodging through these bullets. The bullets are fairly slow since I'm out of brake mode. I don't have to worry about the bullets being too fast, and there we go, made quick work of the first boss. I get the full lock on, so I get the extra medals at the end, which later on will help me get the extends I need to have more insurance as I get farther along into the run. Do note that you can also use break mode defensively if you need to, if the meter is there, so that is an option. You do have a period of invulnerability when you go into break mode. In stage 2, because I have my homing options, I can let the options do the work for me. The Type 1 ship's homing options are very powerful, so use them whenever you can. And here I'm just hanging out, paying attention to the bullets that are aimed towards me, but the options are taking care of business. This large tank here, I hang out on the bottom left hand corner, do a full lock on, and destroy it here. Then you're going to have a set of ships that pop up, but the options take care of it. This large ship, you want to macro dodge around that wall of bullets to avoid getting hit. And I'm just hanging out near the middle of the screen. I want to have the bottom third of the screen as a retreat point. I don't want to hang out on the bottom too much, or else I don't have that real estate to retreat if I need to. Pretty soon I'm going to go into break mode as we enter the second half of the stage, as this is a great source of medals. My overall strategy, of course, I want to get those medals to get the extends. The more extends I have, the better I feel going into stage 5 of the game, where you do have some points there that you can have chain deaths, and so it's good to have as many extends as you can. So that's why I head into break mode here to maximize the medals I earn, and the extra firepower in break mode definitely helps too. One thing to note that you'll notice is when you do go into break mode and your rank is maxed out, you do get revenge bullets when you destroy an enemy too far away. So to prevent revenge bullets, you have to destroy the enemies close up. I do go out of break mode because I get hit and lose my shield, but that's alright, I get my shield right back. These cards are an excellent source of medals, and in a scoring run you could wait until those mines pop out and destroy those for a lot of score, but we're not worried about that here. So now we're approaching the second boss. Here we're gonna hang out towards the bottom right hand corner. We're gonna let the options do the work here. Do a full lock on, and the full lock ons will slowly destroy the parts. You can pick the metals up if you want to. I decide not to. Sometimes it's a bit too risky. Of course, here with the wall of bullets, you don't want to fly into the wall of bullets and get tagged. Phase 1 is complete here, so the next phase here, we're going to stay towards the middle, dodge that wall of bullets, hang back while the boss jumps right at you, and just keep hammering at him. Here you want to tap dodge through these bullets that fall down towards you. The more parts you destroy there, the less bullets there will be. Alright, phase 2 complete, and you can see the options are hanging out right in the middle of the boss, so doing maximum damage here. We'll do a little bit of tap dodging to go past, do a little cutback, and cut back again, and that's it. Boss 2 complete. I don't go into break mode here. The beginning of stage 3 can be a little chaotic in break mode, so I stay out of it to make things a little bit easier for me. But so far so good. I have 4 extends. I'm pretty close to 2 more extends with my medals on top, so looking good so far. Beginning of stage 3, you're going to see a lot of these mini ships. I just do a full lock on to get rid of all of them at once. And then you'll have these little insects pop up that shoot, the double bullets. Those can be a little sneaky. They can take pot shots at you, so be careful when you navigate around them. I do have the option of going into break mode, so if you ever do need to do it defensively, if you feel like you're going to get hit, by all means do it. Here I get tagged by a shield, I fly into a bullet, I miss the dodge route here. With this big ship, you just stay towards the middle of it, tap dodge through those lanes of bullets that you see. And then next up you'll have these little mushroom enemies that start off small, and you have this big one, shoots off in a spiral, so you can just tap dodge a little bit to the side to go through those bullets. Destroy those. And now right before the mid boss, you'll see this wall of insects pop up. I strafe left and right. Sometimes those insects can snipe you, so I go back and forth to make sure I destroy all of them. Mid boss, you can see the lane that I follow going diagonally to the left, and I go all the way up, head back down, and then I stay towards the middle and just keep doing the lock-on shots, making my homing options do the work. The second phase, I dodge laterally. The bullets can be a little tricky here, but not too bad. If you're out of boost mode, the bullets are slow enough. For the second half, I do go into boost mode. The extra firepower does help if you don't have a break. Sometimes the enemies can be a little bit overwhelming with the lack of firepower. But all in all, I fight to control the middle of the screen here. And here, when I have the suicide bullets, I move as slow as I possibly can until the bullets reach me. That way I don't give up any bit of my screen space. Here you see the bullets, revenge bullets coming again. So I move as slow as possible to try to not give up any ground. And keep tap dodging, and so now I have another mushroom. And now I have the snakes here, so these snakes are another great source of metals. If you destroy the snake with the full lock on, it just rains a waterfall of metals that I want to acquire, because now I have another extend. If you're doing a scoring run, this is also a key point. I get tagged by a bullet there, but I'm not too worried. Of course, being tagged with the bullet gets me out of break mode, which slows the bullets down a bit, makes things easier to dodge. I almost get hit there, so I do activate break mode just so that I don't get hit, and so I luck out a little bit there. Destroy the mushroom, so I have 2 big ships remaining. Again, just tap dodge around the middle of the ship here. use your lock-ons, use your homings, and then I go to the top of the screen to take care of the popcorn enemies up there before they fall down. Now, at the beginning of the third boss, I positioned myself so that the core of my ship lines up with the tick on the upgrade bar. That's a safe spot that you can use for this first attack. So I just hang out there, let the options do the work, use my lock-ons. Now, for this next part, there's a second safe spot just to the left of that tick mark. I get a little nervous because the safe spot's a little tighter, so I move a bit to dodge the bullets. And then now you just follow the lane. First phase complete. Now we get to what I call the merry-go-round phase, where it starts off where you have to do repeated cutbacks through the gaps in these bullets. I try to time it so that I don't have a purple bullet in my way while I do that. And now here is the fun part where you have to go all the way around the boss. As I do that, I don't use any lock-on shots. So lock-on shots could destroy a pedal. If you destroy a pedal during this phase, those purple bullets end up thickening, making this pattern harder to dodge. Fortunately, with the homing options, since they damage the core of the boss, they won't actually destroy any of the pedals. As soon as that's over with, I resume doing lock-on shots. I really want to avoid dodging that pattern again, so having that damage, especially in boost mode, helps. With the last phase of the boss, this is a bit tricky to dodge. In boost mode, these bullets can be pretty fast, so I get tagged, but that's okay. And I use my homing options to take care of the boss. So far I'm looking pretty good. I have 6 extends, so I have no miss so far. Fairly happy. And heading into stage 4, if you can no miss up to stage 3, especially up to stage 4, then you're really in good shape to clear the game. So beginning of stage 4, I head all the way to the left edge of the screen. That's where the enemies are going to pop up first. After a bit, as soon as you see the enemies come up from the right, head over to the right of the screen to take care of those enemies. Then when the enemies appear from the top, head back to the left, all the way down to the corner, and then I move as slowly as I possibly can across the screen until I can have an opportunity to cut back like I did there. Here you want to kill these ships as fast as possible. They can kind of gang up on you. And now we have the destroyers popping up. Here I reposition myself towards the middle or towards the middle half of the screen whenever each wave gets destroyed. That way I can have more real estate to dodge those walls of bullets. Those are all aimed at you, so you want as much room as possible to dodge them. And they'll try to wall you off, so it's good to reposition yourself after each wave gets destroyed. First mid-boss here, I'm going to dodge between the blue bullets, and then here, just follow the lane of the magenta bullets until the boss gets destroyed. And then hang out to the right here. Sometimes one of those red bullets will come off to the side and kind of snipe you, so just be careful. Second mid-boss, hang out towards the left-hand corner, or bottom left corner, and then focus on dodging while my options take care of that middle turret. I got another extend, so I'm happy to hear that. And now here I'm only moving when I'm being directly targeted, and so my options are still taking care of the main boss. If you do destroy one of the floating turrets, then the boss gets more aggressive. So playing for score, you do want to do that, but for survival purposes, having the homing options are good because it destroys this middle one. Now we're in the cat's eye. Before the circle completes, you want to do as many lock-on shots as possible, so I do rapid lock-ons. Now the circle is complete. Because I have the homing options, I don't even focus on where my options are. I just merely look at the bullets, which are all aimed directly at you. Wherever your position is, that's where the bullets are going to be aimed at. And whenever you destroy one of those ships, you have a brief period to reposition yourself, so it's good to get back to the middle so you can have more space to do. After the cat's eye, this is what I consider preparation for the boss. So the first thing you want to do, eventually when you're the most comfortable, is to get the targeted sight, which is going to be key to stage 4 boss. Here I have a barrage of revenge bullets. I'm in boost mode with max rank, so I have to deal with that. Having the targeted sight in this portion is a bit tougher than the normal sight, but for the boss, it's definitely recommended to have it. The next thing to do is to switch away from the homing formation to the regular formation eventually through the chaos. I get tagged here because I couldn't macro dodge it, but that's okay. And then I tap dodge these enemies. Sometimes they can snipe you. There's so many of them that try to wall you off, but I do manage to get the regular formation out. I'm outside of break mode, so I don't have the firepower, but that's okay. Stage 4 boss, I want to destroy the leftmost turret, 2 lock-ons immediately, and a delayed 3rd lock-on will destroy it. Then another lock-on destroys the turret just to the right of that one, and then I'm in boost mode, so I have a good amount of firepower. I refrain from doing any lock-on attacks until the boss starts firing the green spread of bullets. So I just keep dodging that. It's a lot easier. Here I dodge the green bullets. I'm not doing any lock-ons yet, and now once I have an opportunity, I begin trying to destroy the right side. I make a mistake here where I destroy that left turret twice. When you do that, it starts firing this nasty blue pattern that you can see there, the blue circular pattern of bullets. It makes it a bit harder to dodge, but I managed to do it here. So second phase, you have a brief period where you can just lay on the hurt, and then what I do, it's a kind of a rhythm. So I go side to side and I destroy each part one by one so that there's only one turret firing at me at once. As you do it, the bullets do get faster, so I got tagged. I lost my shield, but that's okay. And it's kind of a rhythm, so you just keep going back and forth, and it's good practice of, milking the boss. For this next phase, a whole bunch of mines are going to be shot out, so you want to hang out right below the wing of the ship here and just hold the lock-on shot, but don't release it. And then next, you want to hang out right towards the middle. Again, hold a lock-on shot so your ship speed is slow. You can just tap very, very slightly to the side and just follow the ship so that you can avoid the magenta bullets. Now is your time to just unload and do as much damage as possible so that you can destroy the boss at the end. And then now I have the medals from the full lock-on, so I have a shield. I have a full set of extends, so I'm feeling pretty good about stage 5. Don't worry, this is not a no-miss run. I do start losing lives in stage 5, but having a full set of lives going into stage 5 makes things a lot easier. So being out of break mode at the beginning of stage 5 makes things a little bit harder, only due to the sheer amount of enemies that you have to destroy, so they kind of overwhelm you. So you have to hang back a bit and do a little bit more dodging because your bullets just can't kill them fast enough. And so what I'll try to do, I'll go into break mode just to get the extra firepower. And I try to aim for these big turrets. So these big turrets will try to wall you off and try to corner you, and they effectively cut the screen in half, or into a third, especially that big tank there. So you want to destroy those as fast as possible. I get tagged here, so I lose my shield, but I'm not too worried. I still have a full set of extends. But as soon as I get the break mode available, I go right back into it, and having the firepower really does help. I lose my first life there, so now I'm out of break and I am out of an option. So I almost lost another. It's very easy to have chain deaths in this level, but I managed to do it. So I'm in break mode. With these ships and the missiles, be careful when you move laterally, because if you do a lock-on with those missiles, they might tag you. There's a brief moment where there's like a slight gap between your lock-on attack, but... So now we're into the rush. I tap dodge through these. You'll have a lot of revenge bullets. I do get walled off here, so I lose my shield again. That's okay. My next priority here is, well, besides dying, is going back into break mode. Well, actually, I don't think I go into break mode here, so I exit break mode to keep the bullets at a reasonable speed. I do want to upgrade my options again, and of course get my shield back, that way I don't have too many chain jets, so I upgrade my option here. My next one will be the homing, so I don't have homing yet. But you want to hang out right towards the back here, and then this big tank will try to wall you off. There's a second one that comes towards the top, and I sneak through there, and then, okay, boom, got that. We're coming up to the stage 5 mid boss. So stage 5 mid boss, you're going to want to hang out in the middle and just follow the trajectory of the tank and go through those lanes of the green bullets. And then here is the same thing with these missiles. So when you're navigating through the missiles with a Type 1 ship, you do not want to use your lock-on shot. If you do, the gap between your lock-on coming out and your bullets from your regular shot coming out will cost you a life. Here, each turret will alternate firing two sets of two waves of bullets. So just move side to side to dodge them. Here I hesitate and I went the wrong direction, and so since I went back and forth, the bullet tagged me and I lost my shield. But it's the same process here. When you're moving laterally, you want to not use your focus shot or laser. We get this green pattern again, and here you can just continue firing away, and that takes care of the mid boss. So now we're approaching the second rush. Ideally for this part, you would have the homing option, which would be really helpful. But if you do have a targeted sight, then you will be at a very big disadvantage because you won't be able to aim behind you to destroy the spider tank. So being in break mode helps me with my lock-on shot, makes my lock-on shot more powerful, which is good because I don't have the homing shot. I get the homing shot and then I lose a life, which is very unfortunate. So I'll have to dodge the boss's patterns, which for some reason dodging patterns coming from behind you seems is more difficult, especially in a vertical swim up. I don't know, it's something trippy about that, but depending on how fast you destroy the spider tank, a second one comes out. For survival purposes, you want to balance how fast you destroy the tank with, how long you can dodge its patterns. But here I have to deal with the second one because I blew up the first one too quickly. So I go into break mode. After the tank, break mode is good because you'll need the firepower, especially for this part. So we have 3 hecatonters, or 3 versions of this stage 3 boss coming up. And I want to fight for the space right in front of it. And the enemies are going to try to bump me out, and especially with the lasers. If the boss shoots its lasers out, it really minimizes the amount of space that you have. I lose a life here. In this part, it's very easy to get chain deaths, especially when you lose your upgrades. So when you can use your break mode, I use my break mode just in the nick of time before I get hit again, destroy that one. And so there's a third hecaton chair coming up right towards the middle here. It's very hard to get up there, so I'm just tap dodging, and I try to cut back when I can. I lose my shield, so that's okay. And then just use as many lock-ons as you can, as fast as you can, to destroy it. I get hit again. Like I said, it's easy to get a lot of chain deaths in here if you're not fully upgraded. And then, but I do manage to sneak by, so I have 4 extends left, feeling pretty good, approaching the final boss. So the first phase of this final boss, you have these mini turrets that come up through the ground, and you want to kill these as fast as possible. They'll try to corner you, and it can get kind of tricky when there's a lot of them on the screen. So just destroying him as fast as you can is ideal here. So there, I almost got hit. I snuck through there, so I got lucky. So right now I am in boost mode, or I'm in break, which will make things harder here. So being out of break will slow things down a bit. My rank isn't maxed out yet, so the bullets are still slow, but you can see on the top right of the screen it will be maxed out fairly soon. This pattern for some reason always gets me. You have to, the way the spiral moves, it's tough for me to dodge, but you have to sneak through the blue bullets while avoiding the magenta aimed ones that are shot at you. And I really don't want to dodge that again, so luckily I destroyed the first phase. Heading into the second one. Second phase, you want to be right as close. I get as close to the boss as possible. I hang out towards the middle to dodge the walls. And with this one, this pattern seems fairly random. As the rank increases, the walls get larger and the bullets get faster, which makes things harder. So this one is a bit more reaction oriented, where you just have to react and dodge to the side as the bullets come towards you. And here I'm tap dodging to avoid the red aimed bullets while not dodging so far as to get hit by the yellow wall. In this one we have mini turrets spawning, and when you destroy them, when your rank is high enough, they will spawn revenge bullets that come at you. I find it easier to do a full lock-on, or to destroy as many of them as possible. That way I just get all of them aimed in one spot rather than staggering them, because then you get, you know, a stagger of red bullets, and then with the blue line shooting down, it can wall you off. Here I'm looking at my break bar, so I do have break mode available in case I feel like I'm going to get hit. But so far so good. I want my homing for this bouncing phase. It's like the basketball phase. The boss is going to bounce off of the ground, and when your rank is high, it will also shoot a barrage of bullets that you just have to macro dodge. So with the homing option, it's really good. You can just focus on dodging. The homing options do a ton of damage, and you just sneak through, and I almost, if I didn't kill the boss there, I would have gotten hit, but luckily I destroyed the boss. But we're not quite done yet. So the first TLB, I have the sight. Having sight along with the homing, you'll see the amount of damage. I'm just going to do a ton of damage to him, and I'll end up being able to skip some phases or skip some patterns due to the damage I'm doing. This pattern is fairly random, but I just dodge to the side and through the gaps. This one you have to macro dodge and kind of misdirect the boss. The boss will follow you, and I get tagged there. This one's, for me at least, is very tough to dodge. And the next one, well, I end up not really needing to dodge this pattern. Well, I fly into the pattern there. I almost made it out of the first TLB with my homing options, but not quite. So I'm on the second TLB now. I've gotten hit plenty of times hanging out in the middle there, so the boss's hitbox activates as soon as the music starts, so I always hang off to the side right when the phase starts. With this one, just squeak by right here and reposition yourself and just hang out right in the middle of that wall. And now for this part, it's going to shoot a whole bunch of aimed bullets at you. Just strafe to the left across the screen and to the right, and you'll be able to squeak by. Sometimes this part can be a little tough if you don't have your speed upgraded as high. So if you do find yourself a little slow, I get hit there because I fly right into a bullet. I wasn't paying attention. Here you'll dodge laterally again, similar to the very first pattern. It'll just keep restarting. Eventually, now we're at the final attack. Here I'm looking to move as little as possible. This attack is meant to overwhelm you, but you only need to move when there are bullets that are headed directly at you. So I'm moving as little as possible and dodging as small as possible. The rank is still pretty low, so I don't get the harder version of this yet. And I'm just looking at the ship, and since I know my bullets are hitting the boss, I'm just looking at wherever the yellow bullets are aimed directly at me and moving that way. And then right at the end, I get the harder version of this pattern, but the boss is dead. And yeah, I end up with 2 extends, so not too shabby. I start off stage 5 with full extend, so you can see how it's, if you get your medals and try to aim for having that insurance policy heading into stage 5, which, it's easy to have chain deaths there. It could be give you a peace of mind to clear the game. But I hope you enjoyed this run, commentator run. If you do want to see a higher scoring run of a range boost type 1, I have the video right up on the screen here. I'm working on a commentated version, but I'll put my current version here until that commentated version is finished. And I hope you enjoy. Take care. Thanks for watching.